me down the middle, fucked me up a little. You said I was your queen, I tried to give you everything, and now you want your freedom. You got just what you came for, a bit of fame and fortune. Now I'm no longer needed. You said it was over, wanted it to end. Then you had the nerve to say that we could still be friends. You had a few secrets I was never told. Now everyone's talking and I'm the last to know. Now I'm in the middle of Heartbreak City.
Listen, today I got a treat for you today. I got a bunch of Paul Mitchell stuff. Here, have a seat. Now I just want to briefly explain what I'm going to do for you today.
All right.
You know what? I can take your bag from you. Put that right over here. And what we're going to do is do a good shampoo. Now, what I'd like to introduce you to, well, you've seen it before. A lot of people don't believe that Paul Mitchell is good for black folks. But we're going to show them. And what I'd like to do is start by draping it. And this isn't too tight on your neck, is it?
No, that's fine.
Okay, wonderful. Now, what I'd like to start with you is the Aloe moisturizing shampoo. This is a very hydrating shampoo, so it's going to give you a lot of moisture to your hair without frizzing it up. Now after that, I'm going to give you a nice deep conditioner with the intensive treatment, and this is a keratin based product, so it's going to add a lot of body to your hair, and it's going to structure it right. Okay? Now after that, what I'm going to do is go through and blow dry you with this styling treatment oil by that same line. I'm going to speed up the process of drying your hair with the super skinny, and then, well, just to knock that little curl that you have in your normal texture, I'm going to use the Paul Mitchell smoothing balm. Now also to protect your hair, because you know we're going to throw some heat up in there with the Paul Mitchell blow dryer right here. Now as I'm blow drying, it's going to help me, you know, work a little faster. But after that, I plan on using my Paul Mitchell flat iron to straighten your hair out a little bit. And this is called Hold Me Tight. This is a thermal spray. So what I want to do is spray this on as I'm curling your hair, and it'll help hold the curl. Okay?
Alright, sounds good.
Wonderful. Let's go, love. Let's go to the shampoo bowl.
Alright.
Come on back, love. We've done that. Now that we've done the shampoo, I want to have a seat right there. I want to show you what this shampoo and conditioner has done. I've just squeezed her hair and there's really no moisture in it. So I can just towel blot it if I really need to. And now we're going to go into what I would like to do to Carla's hair. Because Carla has her natural wave, I'm going to be using obsessive heat. Now by not excessive, obsessive heat. Which means a lot of heat but not to the point that it bothers her hair texture. I'm also going to change this chemical cape into more of a styling cape, which is a little bit more friendlier to the client. It's made out of plastic, so this still allows her to breathe, but it also doesn't make her sweat. Now, Carla, what I'm going to be using on you in front of you are two things. Give me 1 second. Well, it's a combination of things. What I like to do is make you very silky smooth. So that's going to be this awapuli ginger oil right here. Now I'm also going to try to dry your hair fast, so I'm going to use the super skinny as well. Now, in reference to straightening that little curl you got, I'm going to use the Paul Mitchell super skinny relaxing balm. And I'll open it. I just use about 4 pumps of that.
Okay.
Now what this does, Carla, this will help me get at your roots. I want to emulsify it, and you start working this product from the ends to the roots. Now what this allows me to do is lock in a lot of shine in your hair. And this will help me press these roots real nice so that you'll have a very good flowing texture. Okay? Now first what I'd like to do is comb this down just a little bit.
Okay.
What I'm going to be using on you is the Paul Mitchell paddle brush, which is the 427 paddle brush. And then I also like to use the 407 styling brush, which is a rubber 9-row brush. Now, I will be using the Paul Mitchell Pro Tools blow dryer on you. I'm going to be using it on a high setting, so therefore we can get increase your blow drying time and minimize it. Now, because Carla, this vent is very different. It circulates right down through here, which intensifies the heat. Okay? Now if you notice, her hair is very straight. It is now ready for me to bevel. And Carla, will you be wearing your hair on an angle this time?
Yes, to the left.
On this side. Okay, to the left, gotcha. And what I want to do is slightly part her hair and automatically go right above her eye. Just a little bit more softness on this side. And then I'm going to pull this over here. Of course, as I'm separating, I'm using my Donald Scott carving comb because I love the way it just grabs the hair or holds it. I'm not actually cutting with it, but it's an excellent tool just to use. So yes, I am sectioning my client's hair into desired areas. And what I'll be doing with this is clamping it down so that I get a real good, nice downward flow when I'm ready to press this out. So I'll put one there, one here to hold, And I'm going to smooth over this area up top so I can put another clamp up there as well. Now, just for that section, just to lay down nicely so that when I'm finished curling and beveling, this will lay down. See, I've curled one side of it back to give her a little accent and openness to her eye. Now what I'm going to do is go on the opposite side and do the same. So that her bob comes down and it flips back to the back to keep the hair out of her face from brushing onto her face. And we're going to also do the same exact thing to this side. Now since I've had this side laying down, this hair is more prepped to lay down and stay to the side. So now I can remove the clips. I don't have any weight measurements or any indentation in there as well. Now of course, I will be doing this very carefully, of course, with the Hold Me Tight, which is the thermal curling hairspray. Hold Me Tight is a very good thermal spray, and it keeps the hair soft and bouncy. Although I'm applying a lot of it, it doesn't weigh the hair down. You still have movement. Now I'll be going back into this, doing small subsections and bringing the hair back so that it doesn't land in her face. Now we'll be twisting her hair to get it out of the way, so I'll have a very good angle at getting at the hair. Now I'm twisting the hair down so that it continuously lays down, and now what I'm going to do is prep this hair so I can pull it to the back. So now we have, now that we have her hair curled, we're just going to go through with a light little texture of a hairspray. I just want to seal it around. I'm making sure that I turn off my bevel iron because now this goes down to the styling of the hair. Now, what I've noticed is that in Carla's hair, they have a part. In most parts, you always want them to sit flat. So what I'm going to do now is just lightly bring it down a little bit. I'm going to grab some pomade and just pull her ends back a little bit so that there's very much evenness and the flyaways laid in. I'll be using the Paul Mitchell foaming pomade. It's very light. It's very nice for updos. It's very nice for just regular hairstyling. It adds a great polish to it, which is nothing but shine. It's going to give it a little weight to keep the flyaways down. So I'll use like nickel or quarter size. I don't want to use too much. And I primarily just want to put it in my hand and work it through with my fingers. Because this is a light pomade, I just want to pretty much just go in and blot during the certain parts so that when I comb it through, these sections will lay down. Okay? Now I'm going to also keep it on my hands for the feathers just to identify them a little bit better and to give a little curl. A little help to the curl, rather. Now that we're done, I'm going to also use the Paul Mitchell brush. It's a finishing brush, just to smooth down her edges a little bit and to make sure we have a uniform in this. And this detangling brush is wonderful for doing comb downs, to smooth out certain textures of hair. And what this brush is enabling me to do, if you can look from the back, is it allows me to lay my client's hair down in the desired way, and it keeps the flyaways down. So she can pull her hair back and her flyaways stay where they were. Okay? Now also, I'm going to add a little character to her hair by using the Paul Mitchell finishing spray. It's a very structured, firm hold spray. Now the purpose of me doing this is so that I'm going to spray it directly on the Paul Mitchell comb to identify her feathers right here even more. So what I'll do is make sure my comb is completely dry. Because remember, this is the same one that I used as a detangler in her hair when we were conditioning it. So I'm going to heavily spray this on here. And what I want to do is I want to somewhat come from the front and bring it back. I want to come from the front and bring it back again. I'm not really going. I've used the Paul Mitchell Owl Puli Ginger. This is a finishing spray, which gave me these nice feathers right here. I've used the foaming pomade to keep down the flyaways. Now when I was styling, I wanted to make sure that I had a real good hairspray that was light enough that I could curl with. While curling, it also helps protect from thermal damage. But I had the Paul Mitchell flat iron only on 360 degrees so that I would be able to have a curl and it wouldn't fall straight if I had set it at 400. I've also used the Paul Mitchell Skinny Balm, which allowed me to relax her curl. I've also used the Super Skinny to speed up my drying time. I've added the oil, treatment oil, so that it keeps her scalp very oil-free in between maintenance. Well, it adds oil to black texture hair, so it'll allow it to feel very fresh. And if you notice, Carla's hair has a natural shine to it. I don't really need to add any type of shine to it, and it is very textured on the side. Her bob is nice. She can shake her bob. Go ahead, Carla, shake your bob. And as you'll see, the hair just goes right back in place. She loves it. You can see she's shaking it from one side to the other. The feathers are still there on both sides. Carla is very satisfied. How do you feel, Carla?
It feels good. It's nice. It's lightweight. It doesn't feel weighed down by product. I can run my fingers through it and the waves fall back in place. I'm very satisfied.
Thank you. Thank you, Carla.
In the middle of a world not pretty. Now and it's not that pretty, and I still feel shitty.